Hey my sweet pen friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Devin. As you can see, we have a little bit of a different setup today, and that's because I'm going to be flipping through my bullet journals for 2020. As most of you know, I started bullet journaling back in April of this year, so I'm really excited to kind of just flip through all the spreads that I've done and also reflect on how the bullet journal system is working for me. So I actually started bullet journaling in this Mikel reuse journal. I've talked about it on my channel before, but it's just this beautiful, chunky, soft bound notebook, and this was gifted to me by my pen friend Daniel. So Daniel, thank you so much for sharing this with me. It's a notebook that he also really enjoys, and it's done really well with a lot of the writing implements that I've used so far. Here's just a couple of them that I've swatched back here. So my Pentel Fude Touch Sign pens, some Faber-Castell pens, as well as Pilot Friction highlighters, and then I just have a swatch of my Kaweco Skyline Sport with Kaweco Midnight Blue. Haven't been really good about swatching things back here, but you'll see some of the other things that I used and how they performed. So this notebook originally has a plain cover, but I had to jazz it up a little bit, and I was very excited to use my Plus Ultra All Might holographic sticker. If I can find the shop, I will have it linked off in the description box below, along with all the other supplies that I talk about today. It just gives it a little something extra, and I'm so glad that this was like how I started my bullet journal. The first page in almost all of my notebooks, I would say, I leave blank. I don't know, I don't really have a plan per se. I just like the option of being able to come back to it and having some time to think about it. I did start off this journal with a mind map, and I posed the question, what does it mean to me to live a meaningful life? And so I just jotted down a couple things. I would say that most of these things, if not all of them, are still very near and dear to my heart. So it's kind of nice to reflect on it and look back before the end of the year. So I'm going to skip over some spreads that have some personal financial information, but this is the first working rapid log that I had in this notebook, and that was actually on February 23rd, 2020. I can't remember if I said earlier, but I started bullet journaling in April, or so I thought. I guess I was sort of playing around with the system before making like the full commitment to it. So it's just a running list of all the things that I needed to do, and I color coded all of my tasks. I really like the simplicity of this. It's something that I need to kind of remember as I move forward in my bullet journal. So on the left side, I have my February favorites outline, and this is something that I will continue to use in my bullet journal, and you guys will see that in a little bit, but I like to do video outlines. That way I have all the information already in mind that I want to share, and it helps me organize my thoughts and the flow for the video. I also have a little bit of video planning up here. It looks like I was planning my videos for April, and I think I didn't like how I wrote the April video title up here, so I covered it up with some Twin Stars washi tape. And then to break up the page, use some more washi tape, did another brain dump here, and you can see I'm still using that color coding system. This is the Bujo wish list. So, okay, I think I was trying to figure out what exactly I needed in my bullet journal, planning ahead for when I would officially start in April. This next page is an exercise from Vanessa Van Edwards. I love her work. If you are a recovering awkward person like she describes herself and how I relate to her, then you'll love all of her content. I'll have her channel linked off in the description box below, but one of the webinars that she presented talked about breaking up your typical workday versus your desired workday and creating a day that you really enjoy. So this is me trying to figure out like what is energy producing versus draining, and then kind of rounding up all the big projects that I was working on. On the right hand side, this was the first to-do list for season 1 of Collab Podcast. If you guys don't know, I actually have a podcast with my sister and we talk about all things dance related. So I'll have that linked off in the description box below, but this is just trying to figure out all of the things that we needed to do to prep for our first season. Now this is the first official monthly spread in my bullet journal. I'll have that plan with me linked off in the description box below if you'd like to see how this spread came together. It's very cute and kawaii. I like that I had this like cat washi tape. I got this from Daiso and it was just fun. It was so cool to see all of these different things that I wanted out of my bullet journal come together. So this is my first weekly spread. I started out with the Alistair method. So kind of an update from what you saw earlier with my rapid logs. I'm still using the color coding for my tasks, but here I have it broken down Sunday through Saturday, and I use little dash and X's to show what I worked on a particular day and when it was completed. And I also had a column for migrating the task into the following week. On this right hand side is a spread that I started and abandoned. I found that that was the case for a lot of spreads in my bullet journal, trying to figure out what worked and what didn't, but it's just content ideas. I think I've done like some of these already. What is a fountain pen essentials, mistakes I made, how to choose your first fountain pen, how to clean your fountain pen, all of that stuff. So things that I probably should revisit. And then I also put a column for where I would post these particular content pieces. So on my website, YouTube, IGTV, which I don't really do anymore, and then TikTok, which I'm trying to get back on. Here's another weekly spread. As you can see, I liked putting the weather at the top. It kind of gave me an idea of when I needed to film because I rely on natural lighting. As you can see, it rained a lot that week and I kind of had to prepare ahead of time. I also put some habit trackers up here. I don't track as many habits anymore, mostly because some of the habits I was able to get like a really good handle on. For example, I drink my athletic greens like every single day without question. I also take my fish oil every day without question. It's just part of my routine. It's a non-negotiable. I also, I would say, have a 16-hour fast pretty much every single day, 16 hours or more. So you'll see that I don't track that in upcoming spreads. And then some of these things, like no soda, also I don't need to track anymore. I don't drink soda. But some of the other things I'm still working on, and like I said, you'll see that in a little bit. This spread I love how it turned out. Just from a presentation standpoint, I feel really proud of, but also the contents. So this is characteristics of a winner. This is from a blog post and I'll link it below, but basically it's different qualities of a person who has a winning mindset. So they're a constant learner, they take immediate action, they give 100% of their effort. And these are things that I want to inject in everything that I do. So this is part 1 of that spread. And then I continued it on to the next page. And it looks like I also took the last half of that page to do some video prep on how to choose your first fountain pen. Still continuing on with the Alistair method and the same setup that you've seen for my weekly spreads. This is some video prep that I did for Savvy Bee Planner. I was working with them for a while, helping them get their video campaigns set up. And then another weekly spread. So I was very much attached to this format for a while. And then here is my monthly reflection. So I included a top 3 songs that I was like constantly playing over and over again. I also like this section right here that says feeling inspired by. So at the time I was watching a lot of Journal with Chloe on YouTube, Caitlin's Corner, and Justine Bujo, all on YouTube. I had a section for my big wins and just a little recap of how it went. I remember this month was kind of all over the place in terms of emotion because my uncle actually passed away, and this was, I think, kind of when all the things of COVID were happening. Sorry, I didn't think I was gonna get emotional, but maybe it's because I didn't let myself get emotional during that time. This was also just, I don't know, there was so much, but this is a quote that I wanted to put in this reflection. We just all, like, whenever all of us were together, we were always laughing, and he would say, when you laugh, eventually you will cry. And I always remembered that. And okay, moving on. Here is a Konmari spread, and as you can see, it's not quite done. It's one of those spreads that I started and I'm actually trying to work on again. My goal is to Konmari before the end of the new year. I've done one round of Konmari before, but I still feel like I haven't quite achieved tidiness piece. So this is why I have this spread here. This spread is my May spread and probably one of my most favorite bullet journal spreads that I've done. I wanted to do a haiku themed spread. I got these stickers off of Redbubble. I love how this artist portrayed Hinata and Kageyama. And then I also did a little like really rough sketch of Hinata with my white Uniball Signo gel pen. And then I continued on, still weather, habit tracker, Alistair method. And on this page, I did a YouTube challenge with Think Media. I'm constantly trying to figure out how I can improve the quality of content that I share on my channel. So I did a session with them. It was a week-long session. And there's just a couple of pages of notes that I took during that session. And here's when I really started to get excited and get the hardcore details of what I needed to do to open up my own Etsy shop. You can see that I kind of like just did very broad bullet points of things that I needed to do and think about. I also did a brainstorm of shop products, like if money wasn't a question, what would I offer on my shop? So sticker sheets, notebooks, washi tape, pen cases, apparel and accessories, fountain pen inks, backpacks, disc-bound inserts. So this was sort of like the sky's the limit brainstorm, and hopefully in the future you guys will see some of these products on my shop. It is definitely a work in progress. Here's another weekly spread, and then I did a brandstorming. I believe this was from Eileen over on Lavender, just kind of regrounding what I wanted to do with my content on YouTube. Another weekly spread, and then we have another month in review. I repeated my top 3 songs, feeling inspired by, big wins, and my recap. And this is when I launched my Etsy shop. Here it is on June 1st. So this features my Philippines printable. It meant a lot to me to have this printable on my shop because it was June of last year that my family and I went to the Philippines, and it was an amazing trip to say the least. So just being able to remember some of the highlights from that trip was really exciting for me. Here are my June goals, also my rewards. I don't know, I tried it and didn't really like follow through on it, mostly because some of the goals I hadn't reached, but also, I don't know, just feeling a little weird about it. Another weekly spread. Here I'm trying to rehash my content brainstorm. And yeah, as you can see, it never fully like flourished. Another weekly spread, another, what is this? What is going on here? I didn't put a title, so I'm not sure. And then here is another weekly spread, and then my June in review. Same deal, top 3 songs, big wins, inspired by, and my recap. I think I want to do this again. Here I wanted to do a year at a glance to figure out what was coming up for me. As you can see, I fell off right around September. I liked the idea of this, but I guess not enough to continue on with it. Here is my July monthly spread. This is when I launched my fountain pen and ink stickers, which was very exciting for me to have a tangible product in my shop. Here is my July rapid log. I think this was kind of like, I don't know, I must have been falling behind during the week and then just kind of jotted down everything that I needed to do to feel like I had some sort of organization. And then here are my July goals, my July reflection on my goals. And then I tried something different here and I like it. I haven't looked at this spread in a while. So I went for more of like daily sections within my weekly spread, and I like how that turned out. This is also where the color coding dot came into play, and it's something that I still use in my bullet journal. I just like how the circle looks, and I like that. I like the aesthetic of it. And that was, I believe, the last spread that I did in this bullet journal. Then I switched over to this Flight Diary of Love notebook. I have a full video featuring this, so I'll have it linked in the cards and in the description box below. But I wanted to move into a more traditional style bullet journal. I liked that it had the hardcover, the elastic closure, elastic pen loop, the bookmarks, and then this notebook actually has dot grid pages. So it checks off all of the boxes for what you would typically see in a bullet journal. And I like both of these notebooks for different reasons. And I did talk about this in my planner and notebook 2021 lineup. So I'll have that linked in the cards and in the description box below as well. But my goal is to fill up this notebook and then return to this notebook. For the cover of this notebook, I wanted to dress it up a little bit, and I decided to put a haiku sticker. And I love Hinata, I love Kageyama, so it was a no-brainer to put them on this bullet journal. For the first page, it does have like a little cover page, and I decided to put my name as well as my email. It has a blank page, and then it goes into the dot grid pages. I wanted to share this right here. It's a bit of a work in progress, but I saw this on TikTok by Paper Kumiko, and she was swatching her washi tapes across the pages, and it looked so cute once it was completely filled. But I've been wanting to figure out a way to swatch my washi tape, but haven't like fully committed to something until now. Well, we'll see, because I guess fully committed would be filling up the page, but I have at least started a concept. And basically I'm taking the last little bits of washi tape right before I use up the roll, and I'll be swatching them here, and it'll just be kind of like a place where I can track all of the washi tape that I've had, I guess, until I fill up the page. And I don't know, it's just a fun little something, and I even though there's only 2 here, I like how it looks, so I was excited to share that with you guys. So as I said, I typically skip the first page in my notebooks, and I'll come back to it later, I think. And then I was thinking here I'll put a table of contents. I haven't done it yet, but that's the plan. And then we go into my August monthly spread. So still the same setup. I have like, you know, the calendar, do not forget, my chore tracker, as well as my social media tracker of when I post. And this spread features my Korean foodie stickers. I absolutely love these. Then we go into my August goals. I tried something different where I broke it up into like categories like personal, my YouTube channel, my Etsy shop, all of that good stuff. And then I tried a different weekly spread. I like that it's so like compact and it fills up the page. So it's something that I would consider doing again. Here's that same weekly spread. This time I included a section to put a quote. And then as you can see, I really like refined my habit tracker to just track the things that I really wanted to work on. Like I said earlier, there were habits that I became undeniably consistent with, so I didn't feel like it was necessary to have a tracker. And these were the habits that I wanted to continue working on. Here is a little collage spread. This was a postcard that was sent to me by my pen pal Marta. So if you're watching this, thank you so much. It's so cute. It's like a gorgeous little watercolored kitten. And then I put a quote from a book that I was reading at the time, Sometimes You Win, Sometimes You Learn by John C. Maxwell. Here I have a video outline again of just what I was posting during that month. And here is another abandoned page of video ideas. It's something that I do glance back on, but I just haven't found a setup that quite works for me yet. On this page, I have my season 2 to-do list for the Collab podcast. It's just a rundown of all the episodes and what needs to happen with those episodes, as well as the schedule, and then the anticipated schedule for the upcoming seasons. Here, I just did a reflection on my first paid brand collaboration. It's something that I have been working towards for my channel, and I just really wanted to take a moment to reflect on what went well and what I learned. Then we move into what I believe right now at the moment to be my favorite weekly spread setup. This was my first time trying it out. I did fall off towards the end of the weekend because that was my 5-year anniversary with my husband, but you'll see that this was sort of the dominating theme for the spreads to come. Here I did a little energy audit, and I only did it up until Wednesday, but it's just like pretty much everything that I did during that day, or at least when I could remember to write it down. And then I was falling behind during the week, I think, and just did an Alistair setup from Tuesday to Saturday. I think because I had taken time off for my anniversary with my husband. And here I decided to put together a wish list spread. So just things that I would like to have in my life, and whether it be lifestyle, stationery, tech, or fashion. These 2 columns are blank because I don't have anything in these categories or any idea what those categories will be right now, but it was just a place for me to organize my thoughts. Here I do my September goals again, and then I tried something different for my monthly spread. I just did a traditional bullet journal rapid log, I guess it would be called. I'm not sure what the term is, but it's just the days of the month as well as the days of the week right here. And then I split it up into 2 columns for events that were happening that month, as well as deadlines or to-dos. Here's a completed version of my favorite weekly spread. So everything from Monday through Sunday, the tasks, we've got the color-coded like circles for me to check off, as well as my energy audit, a little bit of a reflection at the end of each day. I have a quote, my social media post tracker and my habit tracker. Here's another one featuring some stickers from my very talented sister-in-law. And I like the spread. It's really simple for me to set up. Just a strip of washi tape at the top and just draw out my columns, put it, you know, these little sections, and I like the way that it looks. Here are some notes that I took during a webinar. This side was with Jim Quick, and then this side was with Anthony O'Neill. I want to go back and like put titles up here, just haven't done it yet. Here's another weekly spread that I really like. This spread features stickers from my friend Ashley. I'll have her shop linked off in the description box below. She makes gorgeous stickers, so you guys should definitely check her out. And then we move into October. So same thing, October goals, October at a glance for the monthly versus having a traditional calendar. And October was exciting for me because I released my Gilmore Girls stickers. Here's a blank page. I'm not sure what I'm gonna put here. And then here is what might be a controversial spread, but I'm just gonna explain what it is. It's personal, it's for me, it's not for anyone else, but I'm just tracking my weight. Weight loss was a goal that you guys probably saw in the previous spreads, and I'm just tracking like my progress. Here I have my desired goal, which is to get down to 105 by January. But as you can see, my progress is not linear and I actually haven't, let's see, the last entry was November. So at the beginning of December, I need to update this. Not to go too far off on a tangent, but strength is definitely a goal of mine as well as fat loss. So I think maybe I had intended to do like measurements or some sort of graph of like my body fat percentage on this side. I'm not sure. On this page, I have a post tracker for the collab podcast, just kind of brainstorming what content needs to be put out. And it's something that I tried, but as you can see, it didn't finish. This one is a tracker for my content that I post on my Instagram. For this weekly spread, I decided to use my bullet journal printable to set it up. I like how simple and fun it turned out to be. I did away with the colored circles for categorizing tasks and just went with check boxes. And I don't know, I like how it turned out. Here is my October spending spread. It's something that I tried. I'm not sure like if I would repeat this spread, but it was kind of nice to see what I was spending in a month for business expenses and personal. And then here is a spread that I started, but it's not quite yet abandoned, but I haven't revisited. It's the $1,000 project. This is by Sugar Mama TV, and it's just this idea of manifesting parcels of $1,000. So my goal is to generate an extra $1,000 to put towards our investments. But as you can see, I only have one entry, and that was my cash back from Rakuten. So I don't know, it's something that I'm not actively working on, but it's definitely a goal that I'd like to revisit and re-strategize for the new year. Here is another weekly spread, same setup. I really enjoyed this setup so much. It just works for me. Here are some more video outlines. This spread is pretty special because it is a list of all of your fountain pen ink suggestions that you guys left for me on my top 3 favorite fountain pen inks video. It's just a running list that I want to be able to revisit so that I can try all the inks that you guys recommended and, you know, be able to reach back out to you to let you know what I think once I do. But I will admit that I'm quite slow at trying new fountain pen inks, so just kind of keep that in mind. And then on this side, I think I had intended to just write down like any other stationery that you guys recommend to me. I tried a different weekly spread layout here. I thought it worked okay, but I didn't love it. But it was just something fun. You know, that's the beauty of bullet journaling, is being able to improvise and try new things. This was my birthday week, so I knew that I was only going to be working the first half of the week. As you can see, I only have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday for my weekly spread. And then on this right hand side, I put together a packing list. We went to Palm Desert for a little staycation just to get out of the house and also do something fun for my 30th birthday while still social distancing. It was just me and my family, and it was really, really nice. Definitely a fun weekend. And then here is my November cover page, I guess. I took a birthday card that I received a couple years ago, just a really pretty cover to start off the new month. And then I did some collaging here on this page. As you can see, I went back to having a full calendar layout. I think I prefer this, being able to see everything like set up this way. What I'm used to and what my brain seems to more easily and efficiently process. As you can see, I used pretty much every space that I could, but then this seems just a little bit more simplified. Like I didn't try to squeeze in too much. It's just the calendar, a little quote, and you know, this beautiful picture of this rose. Something different, not too different, but a little bit different. And here I tried a different weekly spread. I didn't love it, to be honest, but it is what it is. Here's another weekly spread, similar format, a little bit more refined, I guess, but I don't know, it just didn't stick. Here are more video outlines. Another post planner, abandoned and forgotten. More video outlining, another weekly spread, and then we're back. We're back to this vertical layout, and it's probably gonna continue on for months and months to come. I really feel the most organized when my weekly spreads are set up like this. As you might have noticed, I've done away with the energy audit graphs and have just done straight journaling, pretty much, a little recap at the end of the day. I did start tracking some self-care here, and then I have my post trackers up here. Still trying to figure out the best way to track these content pieces. And something that I forgot to mention is I like to include a waiting on section. Just packages or certain things that I'm wanting to not forget about. So I like to include that in my weekly spread. Here are some blank pages. I think I wanted to come in and do like a December cover page, but I haven't yet. And then here is my December monthly calendar. Kind of took a page, I guess, from my November calendar. I really liked how simple it was. I didn't try to add too much to it. So I just have my Mickey Mouse Christmas washi tape at the top, my calendar, and then just the things that are happening. And I really like it. I think I'm gonna go in and add some more hearts just to finish this section off to make it feel a little bit more complete. And then we're here in my new weekly spread. I do have another spread after this, but I don't want to give the next video away. So that is pretty much it for this bullet journal. I'm about 82 pages in, including the next 2 pages. I think this is a 200-page notebook total. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I know it's going to be a super chatty and long one, but it's always just so much fun for me to watch videos like this, so I hope that you guys enjoy it as well. I do plan on sharing how I'm setting up my bullet journals for the new year, so be sure to subscribe and turn on your notifications. That way you don't miss that video. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and feel free to share it with a pen friend who you think might also enjoy it. I do my best to upload here every Wednesday at 8 a.m. PST, so please take care skincare until then, feel free to enjoy these 2 videos linked here on the screen. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye!